What's going on, everyone? My name is Brady Harrington, and this is the first official episode of the P.U.M.P podcast. What is P.U.M.P? P.U.M.P stands for Prepare Ultimate Mental Performance. And with that, we're going to be covering a lot of details to the mental aspects of sports. So the inspiration that came from this, just a little bit about myself. I am a college basketball coach for Elmira College as an assistant. This is my second year coming up, and just to be a part of this program and the great people that come with it is something that's been very positively eye-opening. And on top of that, this is my fifth overall year being a coach. So, from my experiences and as well as being a physical education teacher and aspiring mental performance coach, all this really ties in with my everyday life experiences. And that's what really the P.U.M.P pod came from. What we'll be doing is once a week, bringing in guests that will be either coaches, athletes, teachers, sports psychologists, maybe motivational speakers, anyone that has their side or any type of take on the topics of discussion that we will be having on here. Like I said, from my experiences of coaching so far, I think the physical details of sports have gone a long way, and for most, it's for the good. And all the one-on-one trainings, all of the weight room sessions, and all the time that athletes put in, I think it's something to definitely applaud. But what we don't really realize most of the time is that as much as we physically train, we need to also mentally train the same amount. I don't think they should go hand in hand. It should be growing together. And what the P.U.M.P pod will bring to the listeners and all the audience members is that, we're going to be really touching down on a lot of situational topics, like, for example, confidence, motivation, player-coach relationship, playing time, anything along those lines. We will be getting into as a group and really just tackling 1 week at a time how we can better ourselves mentally in order to be the best version of ourselves as an athlete, as a coach, as a parent, as an everyday worker, as whoever you are as a person. This all ties together. And I think that's what the beauty is of athletics, is that it, one, brings people together. And on number two, if you are a part of it, you also get to learn a whole lot more life experiences that you never thought you'd be able to encounter on within a sport. And that carries over to your everyday life. So us talking about this, it'll be myself, my co-host, Chad Boyles, who's also a men's basketball assistant coach at Oneonta State, a very good college friend of mine, where we see eye to eye very well on all these topics that we've discussed before. And like I said, one more guest that'll come in just to, give us their vision of things, because in all honesty, we're both, 25, 26 years old, and we're not going to come up on here saying that we know more than the next person, because we don't. We're just regular people that have a serious passion for this, and we want to, transition that message over to you all and give our side of things, and hope that benefits at least one person per podcast, and hopefully to continue to grow and grow, because I think the mental health for the athletes is pretty significantly looked over, and just having something like this to talk about and look at will be eye-opening, and give a whole lot more insight on what we have for you all. So just going into a little bit more socials, we have an Instagram. It is P.U.M.P, P.U.M.P_pod. That will be where we post on the Instagram account, Spotify, and YouTube, and we're looking to do once a week, as well as an email, which is Harrington, Harrington, pump @gmail.com. So you can hop on either one of those accounts and either DM or email what you liked, what you disliked, what subjects you want to be, heard talked about more, anything along those lines. Even if it's constructive feedback and you want to tell us some parts of this you did not like, that'll make us better as people. We won't be sensitive to it. Maybe just don't insult me too much or anyone else on the pod. On top of that, with both of these, with me being, aspiring to be a certified mental performance coach, going through training as we speak. If you are an athlete or a coach that knows an athlete that wants to be involved with one-on-one mental trainings, please reach out to that email. If you're interested, it has not started up yet, but down the road it will be, and I would love to develop a clientele base on any athletes that want to further improve their mental performance for future any type of events or any type of encounterments on and off the court or field. So just a little bit more about the podcast. We will be talking about broad subjects like motivation, confidence, self-talk, playing time, player-coach relationships, team chemistry, and another huge part that comes with us is that the transition from high school to college and recruiting process, that'll be mentioned a whole lot as well. So if you are an athlete that's looking to play a college sport, I would highly recommend listening in on this. But we'll be tackling all of those subjects 1 week at a time, just from, like I said, from our experience so far and the great guests that we will bring in. They'll give you an awesome side of things where, we ourselves might not have known about already, and also whoever's listening in on it, that this could also help them. So, just that type of preparation. We wanted to create this to really just train athletes mentally through a 10 to 15 minute podcast. So, anything else on top of that? Like I said, we will be doing, while we're talking about this, there might even be any type of skits that we will bring up where an athlete will reach out to us and say, hey, here's my situation. What do I do? We honestly further disclose it. We won't bring out any names or any of those other details that will get leaked out. But, a lot of you, across the country and the world, like, this is a real thing, the mental health of an athlete. How do you further yourself for the good in any type of situation? Because, at young ages, athletes do not know how to approach things and they might get a bad rep for it. So overall for us, we're just very excited to, be involved with this and have great conversations with even better people. And just because Chad and I are men's basketball assistants doesn't mean this is just for basketball players. We want this to be for male and female athletes of all sports. We want this to be a broad audience, and like I said, for any athlete, parent, coach, teacher, you name it. We want everyone to be involved with this, and the participation of it and the feedback would be greatly appreciated. So just to give you all a quick glimpse of what we'll be doing, I just want to give a quick 2-minute little spiel about what we will be talking about. So today is August 8th, and for most of you athletes and coaches, this is the off season. I hope the summer has been going just as well as it has for you than it has for me. One thing I wanted to get into about being an athlete and, during the off season, how to be as productive as possible. A lot of athletes, I feel like, go on cruise control or on autopilot the whole entire time and continue to do the same thing over and over again, which a routine is great. And, doing what you're good at is, something that you should be doing. But on top of that, you need to also experiment. Whether it's something non-athletic or, on the field or court. I think the off season is a great time to experiment, try new things, and fail. Because once you are in the season, failing and, you don't have a whole lot of opportunity to do that of failing and repeating and failing. So I recommend all athletes right now, something that you are not good at and want to work on more. Now's the time to try it. I preach that to my athletes as well. Anything that you feel uncomfortable doing, we want to try to be comfortable with. It starts with trying it out, failing, trying it again, repetition, and then continue that repetition until you get into the season. And if you feel comfortable enough doing that, then further develop that and add that to your game. And like I said before, continue to fine tune what you bring to the table as well, what you're good at, what your gift is. So on the court and field, work on something you're not good at and stay balanced. Off of it as well, I highly recommend for all of you to try something different. Could be different for everyone, but even something as simple as reaching out to making new friends, trying reading new types of books, free writing. Those are just tiny examples of trying to experiment and do better for yourself and balance yourself. Because like I said, this in the off seasons, you for the most part have a lot of free time to use. Obviously, use it wisely. Spending time with family, friends, and any type of quality time. But on top of that, please make sure with that other whatever hours of the day, your time management should be productive. And obviously, yes, relax, take your mind off everything, but please try something new as well, because to grow as a person, you need to try uncomfortable things first and then be comfortable with that. So that's just an example right there of what I want to kind of get out there today, whoever's listening in on it and want to possibly learn something new or gain an idea. And like I said, this is, freelance type of activity for us. We just want to kind of talk about all the things that we have enjoyed doing and that we are passionate about. So, this is pretty free. Like I said, it's pretty open-ended, and we appreciate whoever is going to be involved with this. And there's a great opportunity. And if there's anything we can do further for athletes and coaches or anyone along those lines, I hope you kind of tune in and see where this can go with you. So overall, that's about it for the first episode. I want to keep it short and sweet, but like I said, thank you again for everyone who will be involved with this. And those of you, I hope it really benefits a lot of people. That's the main idea for us, is to, one step at a time. We got to better ourselves mentally. Like we said, mental health is every day something that has been the main topic of discussion, and people with higher platforms are starting to give that to us as people more and more. But let's continue to really continue that in our intentional thinking on that, just so we can all get through this together as athletes and coaches, because it is a fun ride, it is a fun journey, and doing it the right way mentally and physically is a great gift and privilege to have. That's about it for us. So thank you, and we are looking forward to our first episode with our co-host and our guests coming soon.